Diego Rivera. Diego Rivera was a Mexican painter who was born in 1886, and he lived to be 70 years old when he died in the year 1957. His love for art began early. He went to study at the San Carlos Academy of Fine Arts in Mexico City when he was just 10 years old. When he was 20 years old, he traveled all the way to Europe to enhance his studies of art, and it was there that he met the one and only Pablo Picasso. Rivera's style of art changed greatly during the Mexican Revolution and also the Russian Revolution. Overall, he wanted his art to reflect the working class and the people of Mexico. When Rivera returned to Mexico, he began to show out his art that reflected the people of Mexico and eventually got fundings from the government to work on the walls of public buildings. In 1922, when Diego was 35 years old, he painted his first mural at the Escuela Nacional Preparatoria in Mexico City. 7 years later, he married Frida Kahlo, who was also an artist. They always had a rocky relationship, and they eventually got divorced in 1939. But the following year, they fell back in love and remarried. They were married until Kahlo's death in 1954. But the following year, he remarried Emma Hurtado, who was his art dealer. He eventually began to paint a number of murals in the U.S. in the 30s and 40s. One of his paintings, titled Man at the Crossroads, however, stirred up a lot of controversy when he painted a mural for the Rockefeller family in the RCA building in New York City. The mural was a portrait of Vladimir Lenin, which was Russia's communist leader at the time. The Rockefellers didn't like that Rivera put Lenin into the mural, and they asked him to remove it. But he refused to do it. So the Rockefellers just made him stop painting the mural. Then, in 1934, Nathan Rockefeller ordered that the mural be destroyed. Although this decision did have a lot of backlash, people were angry about the demolition of the mural because the Rockefellers had a long dedication to the world of art, and people looked at it as being hypocritical and even tyrannical. In the 1940s, Rivera returned to making murals. He made one for the Golden State International Exposition held in San Francisco, California. From 1945 to 1951, he worked on a series of murals in Mexico City that were known as From the Pre-Hispanic Civilization to the Conquest. In the 1950s, Rivera was diagnosed with cancer. He traveled abroad and received treatment from doctors, but unfortunately, they were unable to treat him. On November 24th, 1957, he died of heart failure in New Mexico City. But his legacy continued to move on, especially because people were so interested in his relationship with Frida. There were movies about it when actor Ruben Blades portrayed Rivera in the 1999 movie Cradle Will Rock. Alfred Molina later brought Rivera to life, co-starring with Salma Hayek in the 2002 acclaimed biographical film Frida.